Hello and welcome to Find Out Nation. I'm one of your hosts, Jamie,
I'm one of your hosts, Nicole.
and we're here to talk about what happens when a nation fucks around and they start finding out. Okay, Nicole, I was reading through our comments the other day, and someone
Oh,
like a couple weeks ago was like,
yeah. I haven't read
we're
them
not
yet.
even 10% into this bullshit. I'm like, oh, don't think of it that way.
God,
We got
it's
to think
so
of it as positive
painful.
as possible.
I know,
How
it's
many
so painful.
days?
In or until midterms? Which one you want
Let's start
first?
with how many days till midterms.
474.
Okay. We're under 500.
Oh,
Like,
yes. And by next week we'll be under 470.
that's right, which is only 100 days from. So, this is how I justify things. This is the same way that I like justify buying new shit at my house all the time. Like, I tell my husband, oh, it's only $20. But then it's $20 plus tax, so it's $25. Well, then if I'm spending $25, I might as well just spend $30. But then if I'm
Right.
spending $30, I might as well just spend $50. Like, what's the difference? So now my $20 thing is $50, but
Yes.
that's virtually just the same thing, right?
Exactly. It's
This is
fine.
how I justify things in my
Yes.
mind
100%.
in order to like make my make myself
Mm-hmm.
happy.
Yes.
Okay, how many days into the Trump presidency are we?
177.
Oh,
I
that
know.
is not enough.
I know. That number needs to be
Yeah,
much higher.
I need to be at least like 400 days into the Trump
Yes.
presidency before
Yes.
I'm going to be at all in a good place.
I
Okay,
know.
well,
And just so you know, he hasn't been able to golf since the 4th of July weekend. So
stop.
no golfing last weekend. Today is the 16th. He did not get to golf at all last weekend.
I feel
So
like since you've started tracking this, like literally, I feel like since you started tracking this, he stopped playing golf
he
just to
probably
spite your ass.
I think so. And I think he probably listens to us and he's like, these stupid cunts are on to me and my golfing and
Exactly.
I can't have it. It's not like
Exactly
he's
correct. I think.
clearly leading the country. That's not what's
Well,
happening.
and what else is he doing in the bathroom? Like other than listening
Than
to
listening to
us
us.
and tweeting. Like that's all he
Exactly.
does. And so like of course he's in the
Exactly.
bathroom listening to Find Out Nation and he's like,
And
I'm going to
tweeting
show
about
these
Rosie
bitches.
O'Donnell.
That's
Yes.
right. I'm going to show these bitches and Rosie O'Donnell. I'm going to deport Rosie O'Donnell and I'm going to show these bitches by not playing golf. I think
Exactly.
you're right. You're
Yes.
definitely onto something.
Yeah.
100%.
I think it's as factual as anything else could be.
Indeed. We're going to talk about some factual things related to this presidency here in
Oh
just a
God.
bit.
Yes.
But
Where would you
let's
like to
talk
start?
about so you and I both have things on the Epstein stuff.
Oh yeah.
Indeed.
Yes.
Um you and I both I've never called for a oh my god, we have to investigate Epstein. As
Oh.
Democrats, I think me and most of the people I know several things. Epstein was a pedophile who probably was trafficking young, underage
Mm-hmm.
women.
Mm-hmm.
Donald Trump, for sure, attended these parties and probably had some interactions with
Mm-hmm.
these trafficked women.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a possibility that he did something nefarious? Not only is there a possibility, it's likely.
Yeah.
I
Him and Prince
really,
Andrew together.
indeed, I
Mm-hmm.
truly believe that they probably were doing things that were bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then were there plenty of probably left wing donors that also were doing questionable shit that they shouldn't have been doing?
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Or
Okay,
willing to look the other way while questionable shit was happening in the next room. You know, kind of
that's
like
right.
being at a white party for Diddy.
Indeed. That's exactly correct. So, like, I think for you and I, I think Democrats in general have always been like, of course
Right.
he is part of this.
Yes.
Duh.
Yes.
But amazingly, MAGA is just now finding out. They're just now figuring out that he
It's
probably was
insane.
involved,
Yeah. And
which
they're
is
just
just,
flabbergasted.
they're just fucking flabbergasted to the point that they
Mm-hmm.
are like burning their hats and all sorts of stuff. So, it's definitely a thing. Like my title for this week's notes is Jeffrey Epstein. It's definitely a thing. So we know that so back in March 2005, police started investigating him for um when a woman from a Palm Beach area in Florida said her 14-year-old stepdaughter had been molested by a wealthy man. In July 2006, Epstein was indicted by a grand jury on a felony charge. He spent one night in Palm Beach County Jail. He was released the next day on a $3,000 bond. Epstein signed a non-prosecution agreement. Did you hear this?
No.
about the non-prosecution? I had not heard this either. So I
Uh-uh.
was reading about this. So, and I'm assuming this was about the time that you were telling me Bondi was the AG.
Oh, the AG, which I had forgot, was from 11 to 19.
Okay.
So
So
she
no,
was
this is
AG of
before
Florida.
then. Okay.
Okay.
So this is before then. So he signed a non-prosecution agreement that was called the Deal of the Century. He pled guilty in 2008 to solicitation of prostitution and solicitation of a minor for prostitution. He was sentenced to, are you ready?
Oh God.
18 months in jail, but he was allowed work leave privileges 6 days a week, 12 hours a day over the 13 months he actually served,
What?
which means that he was required to be in jail 1 day a week and then overnight while he slept. Otherwise, he was allowed to be out of jail and working for most of the 18 months,
Working.
having yes, pled guilty to solicitation of prostitution and solicitation of a minor for prostitution. Okay. So
Oh,
that was
Florida.
bullshit. So
Hmm.
he's been released from jail. He spent 1 year on house arrest. He was allowed to travel anywhere he wanted to as long as he returned within 24 hours. He never set trial. He, like I said, pled guilty.
So that
Then,
tells me that even way back then, he had local, state politicians in his pocket.
which
There was a
which
client
we
list
knew
even
that
back then.
he
Uh-huh.
was even like he was rubbing
Yeah.
elbows with Donald Trump in the late 90s, early
Yeah.
2000s. He was like
Yeah.
rubbing elbows with the Clintons. Like
Yeah.
we knew he had like powerful friends. Like he was fucking
Yeah.
rich for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay, so in this case, like he was a registered sex offender, and you mentioned that Bondi, when he was first brought up on this new set of
Hmm.
charges, was the AG in Florida. Is that
Florida.
right?
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. She was the AG of Florida from 11 to 19 when he was running his child sex ring in Florida.
Okay, so he was in jail awaiting trial in 2019, and that's when he died by quote unquote suicide.
Hmm.
So at that time, Donald Trump said the Biden administration has this list of clients. They have to release them. They have to release it. They have to release it. In March of this year, Pam Bondi announced she had a truckload of files that needed to be released.
A truckload.
A truckload. She
Very
mentioned the client
specific.
list. She was sure
It
it
was
was
on
on
her
her
desk.
desk. She was gonna like
Hmm.
it was a thing that it was gonna be released. Like, hello.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Then early this month, she came back and says, nope, there was no client list. There's no incriminating evidence. We're
Just
done.
kidding. Yeah. And he
Like,
didn't
we're
kill
done.
himself. Or I mean, he wasn't murdered. He killed himself. Even
That's
though
right. He wasn't
all
murdered.
of all of MAGA world is under the belief that like the Clintons had him offed in prison to protect themselves.
That's right. But now people are saying, okay, that's crazy. You
Mhm.
told us you were going to release this client list, and we expected,
Mhm.
to your point, to see the clients on there, the Clintons on there,
Mhm.
the Obamas on there. Like, we expected some big names to be on there. What the
Yeah.
fuck's going on? You need to release all these files. And now Donald Trump is saying, yeah, I don't know why you guys are so interested in this Epstein case. There's no client list. You're done. We're done with our investigation. Goodbye.
Yeah, let's quit talking about it.
What's crazy is now, so this past Tuesday, he accused former President Barack Obama and former President Joe Biden, as well as former FBI Director James Comey, of making up the hyped, unreleased records in the sex trafficking case. Okay, so he posts a tweet that's like, well, these Democrats just hyped up this data and you guys are crazy. I'm like, okay, you and I were talking earlier. Is this like mental decline, or is he really honestly trying to gaslight us into saying that he was not hyping it up? And you know he was hyping it up because it's his world that is pissed off
Mhm.
that they're not
Mhm.
seeing any of this.
Yeah, and like Mike Johnson came out yesterday saying
Yeah.
he wants it fully released and I'm like, "Ooh, this is interesting." And people are saying that they want Bondi fired for it. Did
Oh,
you
yeah.
I have his do you have his Truth Social twat
Go ahead. I
on
have it,
this?
but feel free. Go
No, no,
ahead. Yes.
go ahead. You go ahead if you've got it. Yeah.
So the last one that I had was that Democrats' new scam is what we will forever call the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. And my past
What?
supporters have bought into this bullshit hook, line, and sinker. He
No,
said
that's totally
on
different than
today's,
what I had. I had not heard of this.
they haven't learned their lesson and they probably never will. That's
Okay,
what he
but
said.
they bought into your bullshit. You're the one that's fucking been telling them for years that this
That's right.
client list has all these Democrats
That's
that are
right.
so busy also murdering children and sucking their adrenal fluid and then also hanging out at the private island of Jeffrey Epstein.
Right.
Like,
Well, and to your point, like it was not a Democrat that brought this all to life recently.
yeah.
It was your BFF, Elon Musk, who's like, the
Yes.
Epstein files, go have fun with it. All
Yeah.
of a sudden, it became a thing again. Like nobody was talking about the Epstein files
Yeah.
until Elon Musk brought it up. And I remember when he brought it up, and I think you and I even talked about it on
Yeah,
this
we
podcast.
did.
Like, who fucking cares? Okay, we
Yeah.
all know that Trump's in the Epstein files. Why is he bringing it up again? Not realizing that it would have this much,
Of a
because then
reaction.
as soon as
Yeah.
that happens, then people are like, okay, well, what's going on with the Epstein files? And that's when
Mhm.
Trump and his cronies have to come out and say, oh, we looked, there's nothing there, we have no
Yeah.
client list, we're
And like
done.
almost 3 minutes is missing
Yeah.
off the
And
fucking
then
video.
that's right. And then they released the video to try. Well, and I don't know if you've read this fucking story, but they released the video to try and prove that Epstein was not murdered. Like that's, oh, we're going to prove that Epstein was not murdered.
Mhm.
It wasn't until the footage was released and Wired magazine starts looking into the metadata
Mm.
to where they find that the video that was released is a splice of two videos
I
that
didn't
have
know
the
that.
3 minute gap in them, or it's really like a minute and so many seconds, whatever.
Yeah.
But that, like, it was an external magazine. Like, this is why freedom of the press is so critical. Just
Yep.
FYI, this right here,
Yeah.
because Bam Bondi's like, here's the video. It shows that no one ever was able to enter whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So then when Wired magazine gets it, they start looking at metadata, which, by the way, can we just say, like, viewing, like, I edit these videos all the time. Like, I do it every
Mhm.
week.
Mhm.
Getting to the metadata on a video is not super difficult. So, like, good job with the cover up if that's what you're really trying to do. But
Oh, I see
anyway,
what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right. But then a Wired magazine gets this data and they're like, oh, it's loop A and loop B put on top of each other. And this one ends at 11:58 p.m. and this one starts at midnight. And Pam Bondi's whole point is, well, that's because it's when the system resets. Like it resets
Uh-huh.
every night at midnight. And it's like,
Uh-huh.
okay, well, great. But at the end of the day, that means that you have a 2 minute time frame that you don't have anyone,
That you can't account
because
for.
that's not accounted for. And
Yeah.
so it doesn't prove shit, because even if that is just the time that it's reset, anybody that works there knows that's when
Yeah.
the clock's reset. So at the end of the day, whether, like, your explanation does not prove that nothing happened, you dumb bitch.
Right.
And like, and then for it to have to be a Wired magazine to
That
be like, hey, by the way, this is missing a couple of minutes here. Like, come on.
yeah. Yeah, I love that this is melting their faces
Oh, me
in
too.
MAGA world. I love it.
Me
No,
too.
the tweet that I had seen that he, or his True Social twat, whatever, and he put this out like a day or two ago. I don't know how, but anyway, it says, um, what's going on with my boys and in some cases gals, and they're literally in air quotes, which is why I put them in air quotes because that's
Boys and
fucking weird.
gals.
Yeah.
We're all boys and gals out there.
Yeah, so weird. They're all going after Attorney General Pam Bondi, who is doing a fantastic job. We're on one team, MAGA, and I don't like what's happening. We have a perfect administration, the talk of the world, and selfish people are trying to hurt it all over a guy who never dies, Jeffrey Epstein. For
Yeah.
years, it's Epstein over and over again. Why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama, Crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and the losers and criminals of the Biden administration who conned the world with the Russia hoax? Here we go again. 51 intelligence agents, the laptop from hell, and more. They created the Epstein files just like they created the fake Hillary Clinton, Christopher Steele dossier that they used on me, and now my so-called friends are playing right into their hands.
How dumb. Like, I'm sorry, but you can't spend years, that's
Yeah.
right, claiming that these files exist
Yes.
and you've got them and you're going to release them, and now try and say that this is like a Democratic hoax. But I don't know if you heard, but Donald Trump fired James Comey's daughter from as New York AG in the Southern District, which is like the elitist of the AG
Oh,
offices.
uh-huh.
So they have now fired Maureen Comey. Yeah, the Trump
Wow.
administration has moved to fire Justice Department lawyers who have worked on cases that have provoked the president's ire. And Maureen Comey was long seen as a potential target given her father's fraught relationship over the last decade with the Republican president.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so love that. And
I
like
sorry, go ahead.
Comey was fired in 2017, 2 years before Epstein's arrest.
Mhm.
Obama was gone from the White House by the time
Mhm.
Epstein was, right? Like
Yeah.
this idea that it's like I hope at this point Democrats, and so I posted on my personal social media something about like, are MAGA really figuring it out now? And the
Mm.
one MAGA family
Oh
that we
God.
still have
Yes,
was
yes,
like,
yes.
well, every president has a thing. Okay, right.
I'm sorry. Has a thing?
Yeah, every president. And she goes, and especially the Clintons. Okay,
Okay, Monica Lewinsky was a consenting adult.
consenting adults. Consenting adult. Now, and let me say that as a Democrat and a Bill Clinton voter, I will tell you that did I love the fact that he cheated on Hillary with a consenting
And
adult?
that he
No,
took
I did not love
advantage
it.
of Monica's, youth and
That's
immaturity.
right.
Not
That's
at
right.
all.
And exactly right. Do I fully embrace the thought that he took advantage of the situation? I
Mhm.
1000% do.
And then he'd been doing it
And
since
at
he was
this point,
governor.
right, am I willing to also admit that there is a good possibility that he would be on Epstein's client list as well? Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
We know that he attended Epstein's parties and
Mhm.
has been photographed with Epstein and whatever. So at the end of the day, like, I don't hold any delusions
Right.
over Bill Clinton.
No.
Now, yes, we all have, but come on. Like,
Well,
you,
and I just this is the mental gymnastics that a MAGA diehard will go through in
yes.
order to justify his actions, in
Hmm.
order to shift the blame elsewhere. I mean, I've seen
Yep.
a couple of posts on social media of some diehard MAGAs that are like, of course, the Democrats now are screaming that we should release the Epstein files because they're all a bunch of pedos and they want to see all the dirty details.
What evidence do you have of that? Like, why do
Right.
you think that?
Right. Because Trump
What
told them so.
evidence? What do you have? Like, we have yet to see anything that would indicate that any of the people that we have supported, I mean, Ted Kennedy aside, like that fucker was a
Oh.
DUI, right? Like,
Hmm.
but we all knew it. We all knew he was
Yes.
a terrible guy. Like
Yes.
at the end of the day, why are you saying that?
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah,
Anyway,
it's so interesting to me the mental gymnastics they go through in order
I know.
to maintain their MAGA.
I know.
Mhm.
So yeah, with Trump saying Democrats' new scam is what we will forever call the Jeffrey Epstein hoax, and my past supporters have bought into this bullshit, hook, line, and sinker. They haven't learned their lesson, and they probably never will. And we all saw in the cabinet meeting that we talked about last week that he went nuts on the Epstein files. So
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying the fact that he's really trying to gaslight an entire nation, and none of
Mhm.
his followers are having it.
Yeah.
Okay. Had to talk about the Epstein files because that's a
Yeah.
big deal. With
Yeah.
that said, and let's be honest, I've been on a rant here for a few minutes, so I might have to like trim some of this down, but
It's
I do
okay.
have to say, like, it just absolutely floors me that this might be the thing that gets MAGA to realize that Trump is scum
Right.
when Democrats have known that. Like,
The entire time.
honestly, the Epstein is the last thing I ever would have thought
Right.
would bring down Trump because everyone knew he was a
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah,
right.
this is not or just like when all this shit came out with Stormy Daniels. I'm like, of
Yes.
course he was
Yes.
with porn stars. And I mean, like yeah, like we all read the stories about him with the Miss USA contest
Right.
and going
He
into the dressing
literally
room.
talks about grabbing women by the pussy.
Yes.
He literally
Yes.
talks about it.
Yeah. He's
How
been
can you be
yeah.
surprised?
No, right. Why is this earth-shattering news? It's
Right.
literally not. It's
Okay.
literally not.
Okay. So we talked briefly about Joe Biden and his cognitive decline.
Yeah.
Let's talk
Yeah.
about Trump and
Yeah.
his cognitive decline.
Mhm. Mhm.
Last week, Trump met with the president of Liberia,
Uh-huh.
Did you hear this?
I did.
And praised him for his mastery of English. The country speaks English. Like, that's their national language. Their country has a national language of English. Our country doesn't, but their country does. And he was literally praising
Where did
the
you learn to
Liberian
speak
president on his
English so
mastery of
well?
English. Okay.
Like,
All
you
right.
said it with the cameras on, fool.
Oh, girl. Yeah. Okay. So that's just maybe stupidity. I'm willing to admit, like, maybe
Which
you
is
just
not
didn't.
hard to believe. The man is
It's
not
not
well
hard to believe.
traveled. He's not, he
Right.
doesn't, yeah.
I'm going to guess that as president, you get like a one pager over you're about to meet the president of Liberia. Here are a couple facts about Liberia so that you don't look like an idiot. And one of the things on that page is probably they all speak English. Maybe.
But Trump doesn't read. So then, like,
That's what I was about to say. Unless
yeah.
it's presented to him when he's going poop, he's not going to read it, is my guess.
So true. Yeah.
Right? Like, that's my
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
We know for a fact that when they put shit in front of him, he's like, okay, what does this say? Like, he doesn't read it.
Right.
He gets someone else to explain it, and then he signs it, and then he hands it over. So my guess is that if they don't give him his one pager when he's going poop, he's not going to read it. So he did not know what what language they spoke in Liberia. But he then this week was an attendee at this energy summit, Senator Dave McCormick's Innovation and Energy Summit in Pittsburgh. He shares a story about his uncle, John Trump, I think he's a doctor, Dr. John Trump, who is a noted MIT professor. And he talked about him teaching Ted Kaczynski, the mail bomb terrorist. He was the terrorist from 1978 to 1995. The president recalled asking his uncle about Kaczynski, what kind of student was he, Uncle John?
Oh, God.
What kind of a student? And he said, seriously good. He'd go around correcting everybody. But it didn't work out too well for him, Trump said in a video. One problem with the story is that John Trump died in 1985.
So he couldn't have taught the Unabomber.
Unless he was like a child genius. And that was 11 years before Kaczynski was even arrested and became well known. Right. So to your point, like, why would, if he did happen to teach this 10-year-old at MIT, which, by the way, there has never been any evidence that this guy ever studied at MIT. He attended Harvard. He attended the University of Michigan. There's no evidence that he ever took a class at MIT. But assuming that he did, there would be no reason for Trump to ask that because he wasn't famous. Kaczynski wasn't famous. It would be like Donald Trump asking, hey, Uncle John, what was it like teaching Jamie Cusick? Right? Like, it would be totally random why he would ask that kind of thing. Yeah. So the whole story is just totally made up.
Oh my God.
And then
and the thing is he doesn't think anybody can fact check his ass.
Or he doesn't care.
Or he doesn't care because he's just because people don't call him on his bullshit. They don't call him on his bullshit. And I don't know how these people sit in meetings with him, sit at a table with him when he's praising the president of Liberia for how well he speaks English. Do you know what my face would be doing?
I know. Do you watch these cabinet meetings? Where
only if I see some clips, but like I don't see a lot of them.
God. You know, Pam Bondi's sitting there praising, and Pete Hegseth is there praising. And like, I'm so bad that I have a boss that's very like super down to earth and very relatable. And I can tell him exactly how I feel. Yeah. And he'll be like, fair, thanks. I'll go think about that thing. Right. Yeah. So I also very much try and be like, hey, I really appreciate that you did this thing for us, when he does those things that I appreciate. But the whole time I'm like, listen, I'm going to sound like a kiss ass. And so I'm sorry. And then I say the thing that I'm going to say. And I have a coworker who she praises him all the time because that's in her nature, because she is a kiss ass. And every time she does, I'm like,
cringy. Yes.
Oh God. Right.
How
like
I am.
Like she knows.
Yes.
He knows. All of our coworkers know that I'm like, Jesus, you're such a fucking kiss ass. Yeah. I cannot imagine sitting there with a straight fucking face in
No.
those cabinet meetings and listening to Pete
No.
Hegseth go on and on and on about how wonderful Trump is. Like, I would just,
No. I was in a meeting Monday with our CEO, and it was only supposed to last an hour. It continued on for 2 because people wouldn't shut the fuck up. And they had the ear of the CEO. And so they decided, I'm going to bitch about things. And at one point, I walked out of the meeting at 10:15 because I was over it at that point. And it got over with like right around 10:30. But one of the other women that was in the meeting with me came to me later and she's like, your face. She's like, at one point you were sitting like this.
yes.
Like, what the fuck? So I can't
know.
imagine
Yeah.
sitting next to him while he's saying this stupid
Right.
shit.
What I really can't imagine. So, like, if you're one of his cabinet members, like, you've bought in. Like, I get it. This is your retirement.
That's true.
You've
Yeah.
bought in.
Yeah.
But what I can't imagine is, what if you're like the stenographer? What if you're like, you know,
Yes.
like a member of the press? What if you're like,
or you're his White House photographer?
you're his White
Pete
House
Souza.
photographer?
Yes.
Right. How could you not be like at least cracking a chuckle? You know what I'm
Like,
saying?
every day I would just be like, this is not real life. This
I
cannot be
know.
real life. This is
Okay.
the most insane shit.
So besides the Ted Kaczynski thing,
Yeah.
he also took credit for
God.
attracting $16 trillion into investments in the United States since taking office. Keep
What?
in mind that $16 trillion is more than half of our entire GDP. Like, our entire GDP is $30 trillion. So if he had managed to bring in $16 trillion of investments, that means that he had boosted our economy by more than half.
Well, that's interesting because the numbers don't bear that out.
No?
Trumpy poo.
So $16 trillion.
Oh, Peepaw.
And then he fell asleep again.
And then he said, night, night.
Night, night.
This is what I mean. Like, why are
Yes.
we not talking about
Girl,
his
for
his
full
mental
20
acuity?
seconds, like, he sat there at the summit with his eyes closed.
I'm
Like,
just
a good,
resting
like,
my
there's
eyes.
video, 20, 30 seconds, just resting his eyes until he, like, kind of jolts, and you're like, oh, he just woke up.
Oh my God. It's like being at the Pope's funeral.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Or at his own
Peepaw.
military birthday party parade.
Yes. Okay. And let me tell you, the man's 79, which I get is not like young, but my parents are 79 and they can stay awake for 2 hours
For a conversation?
for an event, a conversation. Yes. We recently celebrated my mother's 79th birthday. We took her
Which,
to,
happy birthday, Sue.
that's right. We took her to Cooper's Hawk.
Cooper's Hawk,
Which, yeah, I was like, fuck, I can't remember the name. We went to Cooper's Hawk, which I will say I tried, but she bought our dinner, which I thought was very sweet. So thanks for dinner, Ma. I know. I took her to Meatballs at IKEA and I treated that, but then she took me to Cooper's Hawk and I was like, okay, well, I guess, whatever. Tit for tat, whatever.
Yeah, tit for tat. Totally, yes.
Exactly. I guess I buy your lunch, you buy my dinner. Okay, I guess. Right, exactly. So I appreciate it. But let me tell you, like, we were at dinner for a good hour and a half, and not once did any of my parents, either of my parents, fall asleep at the table. Like, they were able to, like, stay engaged. They didn't like manufacture stories about Ted Kaczynski. They didn't make claims about $16 trillion in savings. Like, at no time did I leave that being like, oh, my parents have become batshit crazy. Right. And I get it. Like, there are plenty of times where older people, they say, like, my mother and I sometimes differ on how history really worked. Like, I have a different history than my mother has. Yeah. With that said, there are conversations about, like, you got 15 tickets the first day that you drove your car. And I'm like, no, I didn't. I got 15 tickets in the first year I drove my car, but not in the first day. Like,
not the first day.
Right. Like, I get to where she might have had this view of what happened.
Right.
It's not outside the realm of possibility. Right. Whereas Trump just, like, the shit he makes up is just totally
flagrantly makes shit up.
Right. Batshit crazy.
And because nobody calls him on it, he continues to get away with it.
That's right. That's exactly right. And with as much as he bitched about Sleepy Joe and as much
Oh,
as the
yes.
right wing is right now investigating his cognitive decline, how
Yeah.
are they going to be able to equate the things that we saw with Joe Biden and
Yeah.
then knowing that we're seeing exactly, if not worse, from Donald Trump?
Yep.
How are they planning on selling that to the American public? I have no idea,
Yeah.
but it is absolutely unhinged
Yes.
at this point.
Yes. Yeah.
$16 trillion. Okay. Yeah, the falling asleep was my favorite part.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's great.
let's talk about something else. Let's talk
Okay.
about immigration.
Okay.
I only had a couple things on immigration because at this point I feel like you are our primary immigration correspondent.
Oh God.
That's
Oh,
right. I feel
that's
like that's your
scary.
title at this point. Like you have very specific
I
things that
I am
every
the
week I can
Caitlin
rely on you
Collins.
for.
Am I the Caitlin
Yes.
Collins of our podcast of immigration?
Yes. I want to be you when I grow up. Indeed. Because I told you that last week. Like Caitlin Collins, she's so
She's
pretty
so
and she's so
hot.
well put together.
Yes.
And I know, she's so
Yes.
good. Yes. Okay. So the things that I have around
Yeah.
immigration is I
Yeah.
know that this week it sounds like we started our third country deportations.
Mm-hmm.
So we've now sent 5 men to the African nation of Eswatini in an
Yeah. I
expansion of the
wasn't sure how to
administration's
pronounce it.
largely
Yeah.
secretive third country deportation program.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. Well, I do understand. I think I understand this, but
Do you?
okay.
Because I don't. I feel like it doesn't make any sense. Why are we not just deporting them back to their home countries?
Because my assumption is that either A, we're able to do it for much cheaper to go to these third world countries, or even are we getting paid for us to be able to ship our
Oh,
prisoners to their countries because they have plenty of room.
which is what was
And the
going
more
on
people that
in.
are there, if they can release them,
Uh-huh.
then right. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But my guess is that it has to deal with money in some way, shape, or
Yeah,
form.
but yeah, you got to be right because that was the deal with Bukele. Like he was
But I
willing to
just don't
pay.
understand it because at the end of the day, like, okay, if I am from Mexico and I'm here illegally,
Yeah.
why not just deport me back to Mexico? Why are
Right.
we like
Why are you
choosing
sending me to South Sudan where I don't
right?
know anything about the country? I don't have any family there. I don't have any way to like, unless again, to your point, which I hadn't thought about, money is probably involved. And also it's just one more little nugget of cruelty.
That's right. In my
Just
mind, this
because you
is
can.
that's right. That's what it feels like to me is that there is just something so fundamentally cruel about
Hmm.
saying, I know you were trying to fight for a better life. I know you were trying to find the American dream. And excuse me, even if you were trying to do it the right way by like trying to get citizenship here, we're not going to honor that. Go fuck yourself. And now we're not only not going to ship you back to the country you came from, we're going to ship you to some random country that, exactly to your point, you have no chance of
Yeah.
thriving or surviving in.
And like why can't it just be we don't want you here, so we're going to send you back home?
That's right. That's
Why
exactly right.
can't it just be that?
And what's crazy to me is that there are even people out there that are like, we're willing to buy our own tickets home. Like, that's fine. I
Right.
I got caught. I'm being deported. Bill me for my ticket. I will go home.
I'll go
But
the
they
hell
are
home.
not able to be released and sent home
Mhm.
because our ICE centers are like, nope, now you have to pay. We're going to make this as painful for you as possible. Like,
Yeah.
that is what I don't understand. Like
Yeah.
that whole, and, there was the one Canadian actress who she got detained
Yeah.
because like there was some confusion around her paperwork or whatever. She thought that she had filed everything accurately and that she was in the process, but she wasn't. She gets detained and she gets held and she's telling anyone who will listen, I'll go home. I didn't know this
Yeah.
was a problem. I didn't know I did anything wrong. Like no
Yeah.
one told me I did anything wrong, but I will go home and I will like, make sure I do it the right way. And they still would not send her home until she finally was able to like get on the news and be like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, which is insane.
It really is.
I don't get it. Yeah.
I don't
I don't get
either.
it.
The other big news that I have from an immigration standpoint is that
Mhm.
2,000 National Guard troops left
LA.
LA.
Yes.
So there's what now 2,000 more that are there.
Yeah.
No clear indication of how long they'll stay. LA, the immigration raids are still happening,
Mhm.
but we did at least see 2,000 National Guard troops that left. And I'm hearing that it's a possibility because they might be needed in places like Texas where,
Or
there's
Florida.
still 100, yeah, in Florida.
Oh
So
yeah,
that's
with
what I'm
Texas
hearing as
with the
well.
flooding. Yeah.
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 So is that kind of what you're hearing as well?
Yes, yeah. And I just have a couple of small things on. Other than that, I have other small things, but yes, that's what I had heard as well
Okay. What else do
on
you
the stuff
have
out
on your
LA.
immigration? Yeah.
So I watched a um press conference. It's probably not the right word. Whatever, video of Border Czar Tom Homan
Okay.
last week, suggesting that ICE agents can briefly detain individuals based on their physical appearance only.
I
He was
saw
on Fox News. I'm so sorry. He was on Fox News.
I saw
He
that.
stated, people need to understand ICE officers and Border Patrol do not need probable cause to walk up to somebody, briefly detain them, and question them based in part on their physical appearance. So, just for everybody at home, no officer in the United States, including ICE or Border Patrol, has the right to stop and detain anyone based on their looks.
That's right.
We have a Fourth Amendment and a 14th Amendment that protect against that shit. So, so the fact that, I mean, this is literally what the Germans did in World War II. And I know
That's
we've
right.
talked about this. We keep referring back to this because I don't know how else we don't refer back to it, because this is what they're doing.
That's
Like,
right.
it's absolutely crazy. And I've seen a video on Instagram of a woman that got pulled over. Someone's in the passenger seat of her vehicle. They're recording the incident with the cop, and I don't remember what state this was in. And he's telling her, "Are you even a citizen?" And she goes, "Are you? Are
Yeah.
you even a citizen?"
Yeah.
And he's like, did the total, like, I'm the one asking the questions here. And he says to her, "You look Mexican." And she says, "I'm Native American. I was here before your people were here."
That's right. So,
So because she's brown skinned, we're going to
yep.
immediately at a traffic stop start asking
Yep.
her if she's a citizen. So yeah, but then I want you to know that according to the Atlantic, despite Trump's strong support for ICE, morale within the agency is at an all-time low.
I heard that too.
I'm so sorry for them. It's at an all-time
My
low.
heart breaks for them.
Grueling work schedules, pre-dawn raids, emotionally charged arrests, often targeting non-criminals as political demands intensify under head Nazi Stephen Miller. I mean, in June alone, they arrested 30,000 immigrants, which was the highest monthly total in over 5 years. But they only deported 18,000 of those people.
Of course. Well, and that's what the reality is. Like, Trump keeps saying that we have the most secure border that we've ever had.
Yep.
That it is absolutely so secure. But at the end of the day, like, I've heard that the bankruptcy rate for farmers is up more than it has been in
Yep.
years. I've seen videos of fruits and vegetables rotting in the fields. I've heard that farmers are pleading with their local politicians that they have to be able to give. So at the end of the day, like, we need to define as a country, what does that mean, a secure border? Because Trump keeps saying that it's criminal, like, they're only arresting criminals and
rapists.
rapists. But at the end of the day, we know that's not the case.
That's exactly
like,
right.
you know, that's not the case.
Yeah.
So what are you,
Yeah.
like, what do you want? Like, as a country, do we really want to say that our borders are super secure when what it really means is that we're deporting good workers, good people, people that are contributing to the success of this country?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, well, and one of the few provisions that is in this big, beautiful, blah, blah, blah bullshit.
Yeah.
One of the things that was actually put in there was funding for 800 new immigration judges. And they're saying that might be a large enough increase in immigration judges to clear the backlog of immigration cases in like the next 3 years, which is it's incredible. And so if they are actually able to get those judges in place and get like actual immigration reviews being done and the backlogs cleared, it would be monumental, whether you're on the right or the left. So it's the one thing that I'm like, okay, I'm really excited about the possibility there.
Yeah.
But if that is your focus, why not make that the focus and say, okay, let's clean up this backlog. Let's figure out who should be here and who shouldn't.
Yeah.
And then let's talk about deporting everyone else. Because at that point, if I'm not, I'm not getting approved because now they've heard my case and I
Right.
have whatever in my back, right? That's different. So
Yes.
I just like, I
Well,
don't know.
yeah. I mean, there was reporting that came out last week. We had a DACA recipient sent to Alligator Alcatraz.
Yep. Love that.
I mean, and they're only, when I looked it up, the only criminal history he had was an arrest warrant he was unaware of due to a misdirected driver's license
Yeah.
citation.
Yes.
So clearly
Yes.
not the worst of the worst going to Alligator Alcatraz over here.
That's right. And we're sending him to Alligator Alcatraz. That's great. I
Mm-hmm.
love this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else on the immigration topic?
Nah.
Okay. The next thing I want to talk about
Yeah.
is, okay, we have talked about how Trump is going to stay in office. You and
Mm.
I both, I think, believe that there is going to be some sort of attempt for Donald Trump to stay in office.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Part of what has gotten us here in the first place is gerrymandering.
Yeah.
Gerrymandering is the action of mapping out congressional districts to force them to not force, but because that they are going to vote a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
because we're a representative democracy or really a representative republic, our vote is not just a singular vote. Our vote represents a district. That district votes a certain way to hire a representative, and those representatives obviously make all of our decisions for us. Donald Trump came out Tuesday and said he is pushing Texas Republicans to redraw the state's congressional maps to create more House seats favorable to his party. It's part of a broader effort to help the GOP retain control of the chamber in next year's midterm elections. The president's directive signals part of the strategy Trump is likely to take to avoid a repeat of his first term, where Democrats flipped the House just 2 years into his presidency. It comes shortly before the GOP-controlled Texas legislature is scheduled to begin a special session next week, during which it will consider new congressional maps to further marginalize Democrats in the state. Asked as he departed the White House for Pittsburgh about the possibility of adding GOP-friendly districts around the country, Trump responded, "Well, Texas will be the biggest one, and that'll be 5. Trump had a call earlier Tuesday with members of Texas Republican congressional delegation and told them that the state legislature would pursue 5 new winnable seats through redistricting, according to a person familiar who was not authorized to discuss it. The call was first reported by Punchbowl News. This is where I start to lose hope.
Me too, because I have something that's not that also makes me lose hope. And this is what frustrates me, right? Texas, you got a whole heap of shit happening in your state right now.
Yes.
Like, you still have people unaccounted for.
Yes.
But
and it's like 100 people that are unaccounted for. And not only that, but you have seen your systems break down over and over and over again between, when they had that huge cold spell and they lost all their power. And then they had their heat wave and they lost their power. And now we have the problems with the flooding and not getting notifications out there. Like, you keep having problem after problem after problem at a state level. When do you say, what does our government do if they don't solve these fucking problems?
Right. And Texas is always the first state in the nation to be like, well, we'll just fucking secede. Like, you can't even survive now with federal dollars.
Goodbye.
And this is also very indicative of like why Trump's push for just return everything to the states is never going to fucking work.
No.
It's never going to fucking work. And Texas is a prime example of that because their 100%. Priorities are fucked up.
Yep.
And my God, I just can't even, like, it's just white noise in my head.
That's right. So we're going to create 5 new seats in the House for the Texas. Yes. And they're all going to be winnable by GOP. And originally, like, and this is where democracy. Mm-hmm. So one of my friends posted the scene from one of the Star Wars movies where Padme, it's like the last, it's not Attack of the Clones. It's doesn't matter. It's one of the George Lucas ones. And it's at the very end when Palpatine is taking over as like supreme leader. And she makes the comment, "This is how democracy dies, with thunderous applause." And I'm like, I think about that
all the
all the
time.
fucking time. All the
Mm-hmm.
time. I think about it all the time
Mm-hmm.
because I
Mm-hmm.
always am thinking about, holy shit, like that's
Mm-hmm.
exactly right. Like not all, like people are cheering for this
Yeah.
type of gerrymandering bullshit, and it's just absolutely makes
Yeah.
my heart hurt. Tell
Yeah.
me your thing that is
So
losing hope.
this is reporting out of the Washington Post. Um, Trump administration is pressuring states to turn over voter data and allow inspections of voting equipment, with the most aggressive efforts in Colorado.
Oh, stop.
It is July. But see, we're doing this because state elections are getting ready to come up this winter. And then, of course, we got the midterms next November. So the Post reported that a consultant who was working with the White House had asked county clerks whether they would let federal officials or a third party examine their voting machines. Carly Copes, a Republican clerk in Colorado's Weld County, stated, "That is a hard stop for me. Nobody gets access to my voting equipment for security reasons." The
Yeah.
Post went on to report that the Department of Justice has separately asked 9 other states for copies of their voter rolls, and 2 states have already turned them over. White
Why?
White House spokesperson Harrison Fields said in a statement that Trump will continue to fight for election integrity and that the administration was confident in securing an ultimate victory in the courtroom. I mean, this is this is all he's going to need to be like, you know what, we need to hold off on the midterms. We just can't, like, this is what authoritarians do. They figure
That's
out a
right.
way to not have elections, and because they're going to say it's a national safety concern or it's a
Yeah.
national whatever,
Well,
and then they just won't hold the elections.
and this is what we've seen this presidency do over and over and over
Mm-hmm.
again.
Mm-hmm.
Create false narratives around a problem so that you can come
Yep.
in and pretend like you're the
Like
savior.
you're the hero.
That's it. That's right. That you're the hero of what I know. It's
It's
just
storming
left
its
here, so
ass
it's got to
off.
be coming to your house.
Yeah.
But like this is what they do is like we're going to create a false emergency
Yeah.
so that we can get unilateral access to whatever we need
Yep.
and make whatever emergency decisions we need so that
Mm-hmm.
we can make and it's funny because that's exactly what happened in Star Wars. Like that was
Yeah.
exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And so in this house it's like oh, we have this problem with the secure border where we've got rapists and criminals coming in, just more than we can handle. It's a state of emergency at the border. So
Mm-hmm.
now we are able to just, arrest anyone that we want to based on looks alone. Like that is the answer to that. Or so the latest that I have is the Federal Reserve Chair. So the Federal Reserve
Ah,
Chair, Jerome Powell,
yeah.
Trump has been pissed at him for years because he's been, well, I should say for months, but he's been wanting him to lower interest rates. He's refused because lower interest rates means an increase in inflation, which we saw for a long time.
Huh. Yeah.
But now he is working on renovations to the Federal Reserve building that is a building that has not been touched since the 1930s.
Oh.
Originally, it was supposed to be a $19 million project, and now it's like a $25 million project.
Mm.
I think is what I read, something like that. I'm going off memory, so give me a break. But they're saying that that's because like they had a lot more asbestos than they thought they did. They had a
Mm-hmm.
lot more leakage than they thought they did. They had to replace a bunch of like lead pipes that they weren't anticipating.
Yeah.
Like
And all
they had
that shit
overruns.
there are huge um rules, guidelines, whatever, around how you dispose of that stuff, how you break it down, because
That's right.
it causes cancer and has all the other issues with it. So it's not like you can just go in there and rip it out. Like
That's right.
you gotta follow the fucking rules.
So now Trump is creating this false narrative
Oh God.
about fraud in this building renovation process to give him a justifiable reason to fire Jerome Powell. But he goes in and he tells all of his cronies this, which, by the way, like the Federal Reserve Bank is appointed by Congress. It's not a government entity. Like
Yeah.
we have a friend that works for the Federal Reserve,
Yeah.
and they are following government guidelines because
Yeah.
they are trying to keep in lockstep with the government, but they're not
But
a
they're
government
their own
agency.
entity. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So like there's even questions about whether or not Trump has any
the
say
authority.
in whether or not the guy gets a job anyway.
Yeah.
But even so, Like we're creating this false narrative so that we have justification and can say, this is an emergency now. We need to fire this guy. Same with, in your case, your voter registration. This is an emergency now. So we have to make sure that we are validating these voter boxes, even though everyone that has looked at this in the past and has looked at voting machines in the past has come to the only thing I have ever heard is that it is likely that Russians tampered in our election. Like that's the only thing that I've heard definitively. And don't come at me and saying like, oh, as a Democrat, of course, that's all you've heard. Go do your own research. Like if you can find a reputable, I'm not talking about Fox News either, a reputable news organization. And I'm not talking about CNN because I get it. Like,
no, give me the BBC, give me Al Jazeera,
that's right.
give me
Reuters. Give me a Reuters, give me an Associated Press, give me a BBC. Yes. Give me a reputable news organization that will like corroborate that there was some issue with any voting machine out there, and I'll shut the fuck up. But until you do, go fuck yourself. Like, this is exactly what they do is we're going to create a false narrative and then create an emergency around it. And that gives us justification for doing anything we want to do because now we're an authoritarian government.
Yep. Yeah. It's very
disheartening.
I'm at the point now where I'm like, am I like, but what do I don't know what.
This is what you do
besides starting
Nicole,
to panic.
This is what we do. Like at the end of the day, like that's okay. And this might get cut from the podcast because I am on a bunch of soapboxes today. Like, I don't know if you can tell.
I love it.
But you and I both know that being public about our disdain from Donald Trump, especially knowing that we're facing down an authoritarian government is not the smartest move in the planet. And at the end of the day, there was only a handful of people that spoke out against Nazis during 1930s Germany.
That's true.
Like there were plenty of people that just wrung their hands and stayed in their homes and did nothing. This is what we're doing. Like at the end of the day, I know that there are people out there protesting, and you and I have joined multiple protests, and I love that for us. But there's also something insulating about it because at the end of the day, like, what does it really do? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
But this is a thing we can do. We can give a voice to the people that feel this hopelessness. We can call people out for the bullshit that they have. Maybe some point CNN will pick us up and repost us. But in the meantime, for the 12 people that listen to us, thank you for listening to us. This is the way that we are like getting our voice out, and hopefully you guys feel like we are representing your voice
justice to it. Yeah. Right. And I know too, for me, that this has helped me, even though I'm like sitting here in all despair about this, I have a much better control over it this time around than I did the first time around. And I think it's because we're doing this, because I'm looking at it analytically as I'm doing research for the podcast. So I'm not just endlessly spiraling down the fucking rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I'm keeping myself even more updated and informed than I was the first time around. And I thought I was super informed the first time around, but I'm doing it through a different lens. So I think selfishly, that's also helping me process it and not just continuously fucking spiral, and also be able to laugh at the absolute ridiculousness of some of the shit. You know what I mean?
Like Peepaw falling asleep at the energy summit.
Yes. At the energy summit, which clearly somebody needed to buy him a Monster. Jesus Christ.
Indeed. Like buy him an energy drink. Yes.
I do. Before we do I know we still have a little bit of time, but before we do our happy ending, once you're done with your stuff, I do have one bit in ridiculous news of his.
No, I'm ready. I love it.
Are you ready? Okay.
Yeah.
So this past weekend in New Jersey, they had the FIFA World Cup.
Okay.
And we are not soccer fans in this house. Like, well, Jamie-ish. I don't understand it.
Right. We'll watch a soccer game. I'll go to I support sporting. We super support the Current, like Casey Current.
I super love their colors.
Right. First female soccer team with its own fucking stadium right here in Kansas City.
Yeah.
And if you go to one of their games, where I'm just here to tell you, it is an awesome experience. Awesome environment.
Yeah.
Definitely awesome.
Like, so in general, I'm not a sports ball. Like, my kid played competitive softball from the time she was like in third grade to sophomore in high school, like whatever. But for the most part, I'm not a sports ball fanatic of any.
Yeah.
So FIFA World Cup was in New Jersey this past weekend.
Okay.
First of all, Trump got booed walking in to the pitch. And then like he comes, like you see these videos of him walking onto the pitch, and then like he's getting booed as he's trying to make his way up to get to this suite, right?
Yeah.
But the best part, so back in March, because I got to set this up. Back in March, the FIFA president unveiled the trophy that would be given. Okay. And they've had it at the White House since March. And I thought this was interesting. So the trophy was made by Tiffany's, as all good things should be made. And resembles the rings of Saturn.
Because winners buy stuff from Tiffany's.
Fucking amen. Correct.
Indeed.
You are right.
Yeah.
Resembles the rings of Saturn, or the logo of the Office of Nuclear Energy when unlocked with a specially designed key. Like if you look it up, it's a real funky looking trophy. Like it's
okay.
It's like big,
I'm gonna
like
Google
this.
it.
Yeah, it's like big and round, and it's like wonky, and it's just kind of cool.
So I saw some pictures of just the round trophy.
Yes,
but I haven't seen it. Like I didn't know that it unlocks.
Yeah, I'm right. So it's been there. It's been at the White House since March. And like, I guess Trump's used it like in the background when he's had meetings, like he's moved it around, whatever. Okay.
Okay.
So there are videos. This is where the shit's just fucking ridiculous. So he goes to present the trophy to the team from Chelsea because they won. And he won't get the fuck off the stage. He hands it to them. This shit gets even better. He hands it to like their captain or whatever of the team. Yeah. And the players are like, is he gonna fucking go? Like, what's he doing? He's just standing front row next to the guy. And he's like cheesing it up. Like he works for Tiffany's and made the fucking thing. Like he's just standing there. And so then the FIFA president has to finally come to him because the players are trying to like jump up and down and cheer, and he won't get the fuck out of the way. So the FIFA president comes over to him, starts shaking his hand and pushing him backwards through the throngs of players to try to get him the fuck off the stage. Okay. Now here's the even better part. That was a remake of the trophy because Trump came out and said, no, when they gave it to me in March, the FIFA World Cup president said I could keep it in perpetuity.
So they had to give him a replica?
You bet your ass. According to Mother Jones reporting, oh no, wait, this is something else on authoritarianism. So sorry, that was something else. But yes, they gave them a replica.
Oh my God. Okay.
I said, when are you going to pick up the trophy? Trump said that FIFA told him, we're never going to pick it up. You can have it forever in the Oval Office. We'll make a new one. And they made a new one. Do we really believe that's how that call went down?
No.
Of course not.
No.
Yeah. No. So yeah.
No, there's no way that they did that. You know that he's I've really come to like this. I think it looks really good in the Oval Office.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Do you think he also like make him a Olympic gold medal so that he can have that too? Like,
girl, when the Olympics are in LA in 28, you know he will.
His micro penis.
Yeah. Oh, it's insane. It's insane.
Like it is.
The constant stroking that this man requires from and this is what makes me so mad. Why didn't the FIFA World Cup president say, no, motherfucker, this is not your trophy. If you don't want to bring the real one on Air Force One to New Jersey when you come for the game, we'll fucking come get it. Have it sitting outside the gates on Pennsylvania Ave. We're on our way. Like, this is what makes me so fucking mad about people not standing up to him. And then at the tournament, before the tournament kicked off, Vice President J.D. Vance said at a press conference to announce that the former Duke University golfer would be in charge of next year's Men's World Cup, that fans would be welcome from all over the world, but would have to deal with Kristi Noem if they failed to leave when their visas were up.
Oh, God, what a dick.
Yep. He said no one wants to be reminded of heavily armed men. Oh, wait, no, there was something else about them being booted and suited. Yes, here it is. Things went downhill from there. Ahead of the opening match, U.S. Customs and Border Protection announced that its agents would be suited and booted and ready to provide security at opening round games.
Oh, God.
ICE would be working security at matches in Miami. So just think about what that looks like for Kansas City next year.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, well, I will recommend that all of my brown skinned people, because apparently we can just arrest people
Based on your
based on what they look
looks.
like,
Yep.
then you guys need to stay away from the World Cup.
Yep.
Love that journey for us.
Yep.
Great.
Yeah. But don't worry. Trump gets to keep the trophy in perpetuity.
No shit. That really is an unhinged fucking story. Like, are you
I
fucking
told
kidding
you.
me?
I literally was like, this is in ridiculous news. Like, I can't like, this is just crazy. And watching the video of him like just standing on the stage with the fucking players.
I was about to say it had to be brutal. It just
Oh,
had
it
to
was
be
brutal because they're
embarrassing
just
to
looking
watch.
at him and then they're looking at each other like, the
Yeah.
fuck is he doing?
What the
Like,
fuck
what
is
the
he
fuck is he
doing?
doing? Because at
And
first he doesn't want to take his hands off of it.
uh-uh.
Yeah, like when he's trying to hand it to the player, he doesn't want
Yeah.
to take his hands off of it. So then like the FIFA World Cup president comes over to like shake his hand, thinking he's gonna follow me off the stage, and Trump just like lets him go. Yeah, it's a fucking disaster. Yeah.
I love that journey for us. I love
Mhm.
that journey for us. Okay, well, I think that is a fabulous story to end our very serious podcast on.
Yes, exactly.
Um,
Yes.
Now we need a ray of hope, because clearly
I have
we
one.
need our happy ending
Yes, your
for
happy
this
ending.
podcast.
Yes. Your happy ending. Go ahead.
Okay.
What were we gonna say?
I was going to say, by the way, can I tell you that my mother has called me a senior every time she's seen me since
That's
our
fucking
last
rude,
podcast?
Sue. We
I
just
know.
told you happy birthday. Don't
I
make us
know.
take it away.
I know. You know, just because we were born before 1979 does not mean we qualify as a
That's
senior.
right. That's
Right.
super rude. Because
Okay.
you stayed awake during her birthday meal too.
You're right. If I'm a senior, I should get some kudos for staying awake during her birthday dinner. You are not wrong.
You don't even get like the cheap coffee at McDonald's. You don't even get
No.
the AAR like the discounts.
Oh, girl, I am an AARP member. Like,
Shut up, are
everyone
you?
should know. Yes.
I'm not yet.
There is no age requirement for joining AARP anymore.
I didn't know that.
Girl. Yes. So
You're
you can
a card
join.
holding member.
Yes, ma'am. And like, if you can add your AARP membership to your Apple Wallet. Yeah.
Is it expensive?
It's like $30. Yeah.
A year?
Good through 2029. Yeah.
It's so cheap. Don't you
Yes,
get
and
discounts on shit and stuff through it?
Yes. Yes. So you don't get like, so there are certain discounts where they say specifically senior discounts. You never qualify for those.
Yeah, yeah.
But like hotel discounts, rental car discounts, yeah, girl, you bet your ass.
Oh, I'm
You get
looking
all
into
those
that shit. I
discounts.
had no idea. That's the one thing that has me so excited about getting old. I can't wait to
So
start
I
getting
am
shit
telling
cheap.
you, it is well worth it. Go get yourself a
The ARP.
AAA
I'm getting the
AAA
ARP.
card.
Yes,
I signed Mark
no
up
idea.
and he's like, bitch, you're crazy. And I'm like, I'm telling you.
I had no idea. I'm totally looking into it. Okay. Well,
Okay.
Sue,
Sorry.
I love you, but that's rude. Okay, here's our happy ending. It's coming to you out of Philadelphia
Okay.
from the Philadelphia Phillies.
Okay.
And you're going to have to look him up. And I
Okay.
think you're going to need to do your little magic that you do where you like superimpose the picture.
Okay.
Your little magic.
Okay.
The Philadelphia Phillies' new service dog is an instant celebrity and will support a veteran after training camp. He's fucking adorable. So he is a 10-week-old yellow lab, and his name is Tugger. And he's named after legend and fan favorite Tug McGraw, who is Tim McGraw's father. That's
Look
Tim
at
McGraw's
this dog.
father.
She is so jealous.
Oh, because
She's like,
you're looking. Yes, she's like,
yes,
this is
so-
bullshit. I can tell you're loving on somebody else.
That's right. Betty is part yellow lab. So she heard you talk about a cute yellow lab and
And
was
she's like, me?
Clearly you're talking about me.
Yes, I am, Betty.
Indeed.
You're right. I am.
But look, and you even drooled on my desk. No, we're talking about a different dog. I'm sorry, Betty. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. So yes, so Tugger is named after fan favorite Tug McGraw, who is Tim McGraw's father, who served in the Marine Corps before becoming a major league relief pitcher and a 1980 World Series champion with the Phillies.
Okay.
So two nonprofit organizations will help prepare the retriever over the next 2 years. So Warrior Canine Connection will train him, and Team Foster, a Philly-based charity that has helped connect over 500 veterans with their service dogs, will find him his next owner. He's the
Oh.
second service pup sponsored by the Phillies. The first one, Major, was just recently placed in a forever home, bringing some much needed assistance to a local veteran. Earlier this week, he was introduced to hometown fans at the Philly ballpark. He quickly won over the entire crowd, which he's fucking adorable. How could he not? Even while sleeping for an inning in a player's arms.
So explain this to me. So is this just a dog that's like a member of the Phillies, but doesn't participate in the games kind of
Right,
thing?
right. And the Phillies are paying for his training over the next
Oh,
2
okay.
years for him to then be paired up with a veteran that needs
Okay.
a service dog. Yeah. So yeah,
Got it. Got it.
yeah.
Okay.
So good old Tugger gonna be put in
Okay.
service in
Well,
2 years, but he's fucking adorable.
for those of
Yes.
you that are listening to our podcast, you'll have to go Google Tugger yourself.
Yes.
For those of you who are not, hopefully you are looking at an adorable picture of this puppy right
Yes.
now
Oh my God.
on YouTube.
He's so freaking cute.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that
So
story.
cute. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I do feel bad for Betty that there's another
We love
dog
Betty
out
the
there.
most here
That's
at the
right. We still
podcast.
love
She
Betty
is
the
always
most.
going to be our favorite part yellow lab.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'll let her know because she is left in disgust, apparently.
Oh, she's like, this is a load of bullshit. Nicole's
That's right.
trying to
She's
like
like,
sell me
that
down the
dog is
river.
bullshit.
Yes.
I
yes.
am boycotting your stupid ass podcast. That's exactly right.
Next time I'm going to bark through the whole fucking thing.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong there. Okay. Well, I love that happy ending. Thank you for sharing that. That
Yes,
was
you
an
are welcome.
absolutely delightful. And it helps fill me with a
Heartwarming.
little bit of hope knowing that there are
Yes.
organizations out there that are still doing good for the world.
Yes.
That's what's gonna solve all our problems. Okay,
Yes.
well, hopefully you all have gotten this far and that you have enjoyed our podcast this evening. Again, feel free to like, subscribe, share it with your right-wing Republican family members to really piss them off if you want to.
Yeah.
Share them with your left-leaning Democrats just to know that there is actually still some hope in the world, that there is good.
Yes.
And hopefully that you've enjoyed this episode. We love you and we wish you all the best of weeks, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.